Have you ever wondered how I keep my tanks super clear? Well, today we're going to unbox the secrets of how I keep these tanks crystal clear by going through and cleaning one of my filters because it's that time. It's been about 2 to 3 months now. The flow rate was getting a little slow on this tank here, so I noticed that I needed to go through and clean out the filter. So today you're going to learn that. All the way to the end, you'll uncover the secrets on how I clean my filters and what you should put in your filters to make sure you have this crystal clear water yourself. All right, so first we start out with our inline cleaner. So we're gonna take off the lily pipes, then we're gonna go through and clean the inlet and outlet. This is just a wire brush since it's easier to go down and clean the lily pipes with. I'll put all the links in the description to where I got some of these. But basically I just keep it stored like this. And then when I'm ready to go through and clean it, I'll take it out. There's two different sizes here. But first, start with taking off our lily pipes, and then we'll go through and clean our inline and outline as well. Then we'll do the filter. All right, so next up's the filter. Now this is one of the most important parts, is you want to maintain as much beneficial bacteria from the filter as possible. So I don't drain all this water out. I will use it to rinse these. Now typically what I've been doing, and this has worked for me, is I'll replace one of the blues, one of the whites. Next time around I'll do the other ones. You just have to remember which ones you replaced last time, because they look the same after. Then you have your basket, which we'll do first. So we'll move our lines over here for our filter. We'll do our basket first. So what I have in my basket is a phosphate remover. Then I have 1 filter floss, 2 filter floss, 3 filter floss, and Purigen. I found Purigen to be very helpful, so I use Purigen. That's the first container. Second one is beneficial bacteria media. Yeah, media. And I'll rinse this in the already existing aquarium water. Just give that a nice thorough rinse, and this will stay forever. I'm not going to replace any of that. That's where most of your beneficial bacteria builds up, as well in your filter. So this is done. That's trashed. This is the main filter sponge at the bottom. I typically try not to replace this as much as possible. So what I'll do is first rinse this. So I'm just squeezing it in here to get as much debris out of that sponge as possible. Not using actual water from your faucet to clean your sponges, just the water that's from the filter itself. Then we'll rinse this off. Give a little scrub right here. And this will be put right back in here with some more filter floss in this first container. So first and foremost, secondary ones are these. So again, cleaning one, replacing the other. A lot of beneficial bacteria is built up on these sponges as well. So these aren't that bad. So I'm actually going to keep them. This is good enough. Same thing with this one. And you have two more on this side. This is the Fluval 207. So that's clean now. You can see the before and after. There we are. So I'm gonna dump this out and then I'm gonna add some filter floss. I'll show you that whole process as well. One little tip, this is liquid gold. So I'm gonna go outside and feed my citrus trees and my banana tree with all of this fish waste. So do not waste this water if you have plants. Great waste water for growing plants. All right, so I've already made a couple, but just to kind of show you all, you can buy this. This is Aquarium. I hid this. Aquarium. It's just filter floss, so polyfiber media pad, and you can buy them in pretty big pieces. And I use, for the Fluval, I always put in some of this, what's this called? The phosphate remover. And I just use that as my stencil. So basically I'll just go through, place it here, align it, and then just cut it. That way I don't have to use the super thin filter floss from Fluval. This is thicker polyfiber, which is nice. So I'll just cut these to size. And then, so it fits in between the slots, I just go 1 clip, 2, and 3. So I've already cut a bunch of size. Like I said, I'll fit one right here. So this is the bottom canister. This has worked for me. So my experience, this is exactly how I lay mine out. So I'll put one here, maybe one more will fit. I always forget, perfect. Then I'll add my little lever here. We'll add our beneficial bacteria media. That's layer number 2. Then layer number 3, I start with Purigen. So you can just pick this up. This is what I prefer to use. Again, helps a lot in my tanks. Whatever works for you, keep doing it. So this does require it to be rinsed before you put it in. Read the instructions. I found out the hard way. So first and foremost, Purigen on the bottom. Spread this out so that it hits all the water. Then I add 2 more filter flosses here, probably a third to be honest. Yep, so let me cut one more to shape. So there we are. Perfect. This will go right on top. And this will slide right back in. Then we need the lid. Right here. Perfect. This one's next. I will rinse this with water. All right, so I typically dry this all off so I can tell if anything's leaking after. So I'm gonna go and place this back, and we'll talk about what we just did in the capstone. Just adding the lily pipes back on. We'll put this back onto the filter. These are some of the best filters that I've used because the detachable lily pipes here make it a lot easier just to take it out of your tank and rinse it. But enough of that, let's go through and place everything back in the aquarium. I just want you to take note how dirty this tank was. Well, this filter floss is just, there's so much. Purigen, apparently you can reload it if you bleach it. I just buy new ones. It's not in your budget, then you can go through and get new ones. But as you can tell, filter floss works for cleaning up all of your debris. Highly recommend it in your tank. But let's go through and add this back into the aquarium. So the trick to priming this thing, because I know some people have asked before, and I just did it, and as I was doing, I was like, oh, people have asked, turn this lever down. What you want to make sure is the outtake is above water. Then you just come over and I lift this up. It already filled up, so you're not going to see any water pumping in. But now when I turn it on, it'll be all set, and I'll just return that lily pipe back to its original location, which is below water. So what I did for this tank was a little light vacuum. You don't want to drain a ton of water because you're going to be filling new water back up in your filter, and you want to keep as much beneficial bacteria when you do a filter change in your aquarium as much as possible. So limit any other things. You pick one thing. You don't do a huge cleaning, you just do the filter. Or you do a big cleaning and you don't do the filter. Again, keeping that beneficial bacteria as much as you can in the aquarium, because you don't want to shock your system that you've created, your ecosystem that you've created for your tank. So I'll fill this up, and then we'll capstone this. I just want you to see these guys in action. Look at the Pinocchio shrimp are the funnest to watch as you're going through and looking at them. It's like they just glide. They're so silly. You haven't had any of these, highly recommend picking up some Pinocchio shrimp. They're super cheap too. They're just as good as Amana shrimp. Amana shrimp act more erratic, more crazy in a tank. The Pinocchio are just super fun watching glide. Oh, and you see the rare Emerald Raspora. They never come out. They're always just hiding compared to the Celestial Pearl Danios, which are super colored up. Again, if you don't have a churros light, highly recommend getting one. Not just for the reds, but also for the brightness of your inhabitants. Alrighty, so here's the moment of truth. I'm going to plug in the filter. Not everyone. Some people have said that it doesn't prime. And you'll see some air bubbles coming out. You'll see some air bubbles coming out of the filter line itself in the aquarium, and that's it. Got some good flow. Turn this thing up a little bit. Let some of the air work its way through. And it looks like I didn't rinse the Purigen, or those are bubbles. Nope, those are refined bubbles. So the flow just has to get in there and do its thing. No issue starting the tank. Flow is great. Pushing out that backside, creating that circulation. All right, how easy was that? Went through and just cleaned the filter, showed you what you should put in it. From my experience, again, if something's working for you, keep up with it, right? That's what this is all about. This is just what's been working for me. The bubble aeration is going to clear up here in a little bit because there's a bunch of air that just gets pushed right through. This thing primed very easily. Again, super simple to prime these things. Just make sure that intake, no, outtake is up so that the intake can pull water in through air. And then you just power it on. Super simple. So that's how I went through and did this. Again, maintaining that proper beneficial bacteria in your filter. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, take this moment to like and subscribe, and even turn on those notifications if you want to see some future tips. If you have any questions, I truly encourage you to comment below. I'm here to help every single one of you, and you listening in right now, if you're worried about anything, just comment. I'm here to help you. But until next time, I'll see you all on the next video.